One day, this kid bought a bunch of clear iPhone cases for cheap, and he had this friend who was good with graphic design. So what he would do is he would have his friend make this cool design of whatever he wanted. His friend would then print it and cut it down so it would fit perfectly inside this phone case. And it looked awesome. Clear phone case, this graphic design insert, it was legit. Custom fit, looked expensive. He did it to his phone case first. It was an anime design and it looked awesome. People saw this and they were immediately intrigued. Well, interest grew. And soon, he was taking orders for people. NBA, anime, SpongeBob, Shrek, he was making these custom phone cases and selling them. Then he starts bundling them together. 3 phone cases for $10, 6 for $15, and business was absolutely booming. He kept buying these clear phone cases, his friend kept designing these designs and custom cutting them to fit the cases, and people were buying them. They were all over the school. The thing was, his friend that was designing these and printing them was using the school's printers. The IT guy realized how much printing had been done and he told the principal. And this whole thing had to be shut down. But by then, he had made $530. And those phone cases became collectibles. Some students even reselling them for 3 times the price they bought them for. Honestly, you gotta respect the hustle. This is getting out of hand. Before first period, everything was fine. But the second first period was over, it happened. Bro, no way. Every school water fountain was filled with salsa. Not 1, not 2, every single water fountain in the building. And here's the frickin' thing. Written on the wall above the water fountain in very thick Sharpie was 6-7. And obviously, as you can imagine, everybody went crazy. Yo, whoever did this was insane! Yo, but what does it mean? Teachers are scrambling, the students are losing, and the custodians are working extra hard to clean this up. And by the end of second period, everything is clean. Well, the school's like, we need to figure out who did this. So after school that day, they checked the cameras. A hooded kid wearing a face mask. He moves quick, he's got tons of jars of salsa in his backpack and he's just dumping them in every single water fountain and scooting away. Then he slips into the theater hallway, the one with no cameras, and he vanishes. They don't see him again. Nobody gets identified. Nobody confesses. Everybody's talking about it, but nobody's claiming it. And that's when it starts. Kids begin showing up to school with jars of salsa in their backpacks, and every single salsa jar has 6-7 written on the lid. Before you know it, it's a full-blown culture. Who's got the rare stuff that nobody's seen before? Yo, yours looks different. Yeah, my uncle sent it to me from Mexico City. People are trading, people are hoarding jars in their lockers. The school eventually tries to ban salsa. I can't believe I'm saying this, but salsa jars are banned. But that didn't stop anybody. People kept bringing their 6-7 salsa jars to school. Apparently, it has now calmed down a little bit, but I guess the school is still scrambling to stop all of this madness. That is insane. It started with a long yellow slip and slide going down the hill at the park. This kid had it set up with a hose and a couple buckets of soapy water. And at the bottom, he had lined up these kiddie pools to help break the fall so he wouldn't get like that grass burn. At first, it was just him and his few friends in this one slip and slide. But when other kids started to gather around wanting to take their turn, he said, "Okay, everyone chill. $5 gets you 5 runs down the slide." And people paid. By the next week, he had 3 slip and slides side by side. One with a sprinkler arch, one with cool inflatable bumpers, and one had a tunnel attachment that would spray water down as you went through. Each one was fancier than the last. It was basically a water park in the middle of a neighborhood park. Kids were bringing towels, parents were even coming with lawn chairs to get a tan while their kids slip and slided down the hill. One kid really wanted to slide down, but he didn't have any cash. "You take Venmo?" "Sorry dude, cash only." "Ah, man, okay. But you know what? It's real hot today, so just come on, have fun." That sounds absolutely awesome. You gotta respect the hustle. This kid turned a broken vending machine into a business. So during construction at this one school, it got moved to this weird corner by the band room. Most people ignore it. It's kind of like cracked. The lights don't work in there. It just looks off. This one freshman notices something. If you tilt the keypad kind of forward, it'll come off. There's a bunch of random little switches and buttons behind it. And he realized if you just press a bunch of these buttons, snacks just start falling out of the vending machine. It was a broken vending machine. What does this do? Oh my gosh, I hit the jackpot. So instead of going nuts, he keeps this quiet. Starts posting on Snapchat. $1 chips, meet by the band room. By this point, he had gathered a bunch of snacks from this vending machine. And people were lining up to pay for these snacks. And the thing is, he's selling these for cheaper than the vending machine charged because, well, he got them for free. By the end of the first week, it was a full-blown snack operation and he made $80. But one day, a custodian was kind of watching him from afar and saw what he was doing. "What is that kid doing?" Nice. Dear God. The day after that, the vending machine was moved. But by that point, most of the snacks were gone anyway, and he made a good amount of money. So, hey, you gotta respect the hustle. This one school had a weird tradition. Kids would drop food off the top of the staircase and watch it explode on the ground. One kid, this kid named Jeff, brings a tomato. He walks all the way to the top of the staircase. He looks down and he goes, yeah, I shouldn't do this. And then his friend takes the tomato out of his hand. Scaredy cat, I'll do it. His friend throws it, and splat, it explodes all over the floor. Well, the teacher saw this and looked up. Only thing the teacher saw was Jeff. Jeff, office now. Jeff's like, I didn't do it, but he was dragged to the office anyway. He gets in there, he's sitting down. Just admit you threw it. I didn't. They didn't believe him, they suspended him. Later that day, the kid who actually did it confessed. The school then suspends him, but they refuse to undo Jeff's suspension. They claim they have video proof of the two kids throwing the tomato together, but they keep saying, we can't release the video for privacy reasons. They're both still suspended. Well, a few days passed, and Jeff's older brother shows up at the school, and he is serious. Hey, you guys better show the video now. I said we can't. If you don't show the video, you're gonna regret it. I guess the brother was a bit more intense than that, but they finally show the video, and the video has nothing on it. It's just a blank wall. The school still keeps the two kids suspended. Well, Jeff's siblings and Jeff's friends are super mad about this, so they tell the entire school to bring a tomato tomorrow. Hey, everybody, tomorrow, bring a tomato and meet at the top of the staircase. Next day at lunch, splat, splat, splat. At least 50 tomatoes were dropped from the top of the staircase. It's a full-blown tomato apocalypse. The school could not suspend everybody. And Jeff and his friend got that suspension taken off their record. Yeah, good. This girl's parents were so strict. They banned birthdays at their house. No cake, no candles, no parties. So on her 13th birthday, her friends found out. Wait, so you never had a birthday party ever? Nope, never. They were stunned. That is so messed up. You know what? Tomorrow night, we're throwing you one. One of them's house was the perfect spot. A huge backyard, a pool, lights were already strung up for vibes, and they spread the word. By sundown the next day, the backyard was packed. Music blasting, kids cannonballing in the pool. The girl who was hosting the party's parents were there just to keep everyone safe, but they were just sitting back relaxing. Everyone was even chanting her name when she walked in. Marissa, Marissa, happy birthday, Marissa. And for the first time ever, she had a birthday cake with real candles in it. And right as she blew out those candles, there they were. She saw her parents walk into the backyard. Everyone got silent. What is this? Her friend stepped in. Hey, she deserves this. It's her 13th birthday. Her parents looked around and there was dozens of people just staring at them. They were uncomfortable, so they just said, all right, well, we'll pick you up here at 10, okay? 10 p.m. And they left. But still, that was the birthday that she would never, ever forget. It was April, heat was rising. Classrooms were packed, the AC wasn't working very well, and the school had a rule. No standing up during class, even for a second. Not even to stretch. What? The teacher said it disrupted the learning environment. Whatever, that's completely bogus. Well, this one kid named Andy, he has this knee condition. It was a sports injury, he had done physical therapy, all this stuff. Well, he gets into class, the bell had barely rung, and his knee was bothering him, so he shifted in his chair a bit and stood up to adjust. Andy! It was his history teacher. You know the rule. Or do you, no, I wasn't walking around, my knee was hurting, I had to go office now. He gets into the office and he explains everything to the principal. Are you disrespecting your teacher's orders? No, I just needed to detention today. Well, you see, this kid's mom was a nurse, and when she finds out about this, she was pissed. Well, she shows up the next day with his medical records and slaps them on the principal's desk. Hey, unless you're planning on becoming a doctor, you're gonna let my kid stand up when his knee hurts, okay? Yes, ma'am. Apparently she was so intense, the principal was freaked out, he talked to the teacher, and that rule changed very quick. What kind of teacher would do that though? That's insane. This is messed up. So a group of friends were invited to their classmate's house. Guys, dinner at my house tonight, be there. And this kid's parents were there. They're polite, they're well-spoken, just good people. For dinner, they eat homemade pasta. They're laughing about classes, midterms, teachers. A normal fun night. When dinner is over, everybody offers to help. Yo, let me help clean the table off, guys. Yeah, I can do dishes too. But the friend's like, no, don't. My parents will do it. Don't worry about it. They just laugh. But then they're like, wait, is he serious? His parents start doing the dishes, cleaning off the entire table, while their kid is just flipping through his phone. Later on, they move to the living room. They're all just chatting. The dad comes in and begins talking to one of the other kids. So you work in foreign policy? Yeah, and then in my free time, I do a lot of traveling. I have an art studio in my garage. Dude, you are so cool. This kid's having a great conversation with his friend's dad. Then out of nowhere, this friend says, "Come on, Dad, shut up. Nobody cares about your boring job crap. Please leave." The whole room freezes, like what is going on? The dad's face drops, and then he says, "Hey, come on, man, don't talk to me like that in front of your friends. It's disrespectful. Go away." After that, nobody talks. His friends just grab their stuff and they begin walking out the door. "Hey, where are you guys going?" "We're leaving, man. Your parents are great. This whole thing is just weird." "Fine, leave." And on the ride home, all they can talk about was how disrespectful this kid is, and nobody ever hung out with him ever again. It's the first week of school and this kid's rocking some brand new expensive Nikes. "Hey yo, peep the kicks. Ooh, those are clean, bro." "Yeah, they remind me of my mom." Then in the middle of class, the fire alarm goes off. "Oh, all right." And everyone crams into the hallway. Excuse me. Well, as he's making his way out, a student behind him steps on his right shoe, and his shoe comes off. Yo, wait, my shoe!" "Keep it moving." He gets outside, and he's standing there with only one shoe on. Every grade is lined up. He's begging him to go back in. No, you don't understand. My other shoe is inside, and those were expensive." "Are you nuts? No, forget it." Eventually, they're all let back inside, and he's looking everywhere. He can't find his shoe. It's like it's just gone. And at lunch, he's sitting there, and here's where it gets interesting. I guess some kid saw that the shoe had fallen off and took it, put it in his backpack. You see, they took a picture of the shoe, put it on a document, and typed, "If you ever want to see your shoe again, it's $45. And as he's sitting at lunch, someone in a hoodie slips him this note. Man. Now it's a full-blown shoe hostage situation. There was a random email on the flyer, and he emailed it. The kidnapper set up a spot, told him to drop the money, and they would drop the shoe. And he paid the $45. But hey, he got his shoe back. That's actually crazy. The lunch lady from hell. This lunch lady was your classic grumpy old woman. Hairnet, gloves, stained apron, and she seemed to hate children. I hate children. She never smiled. She was always in a horrible mood. Well, one day this kid in the lunch line says something to her that makes her flip out. "Next, is this meat even real?" The whole lunch line starts laughing at her. And then another kid goes, "Yeah, is it even real? Also, you're the worst lunch lady ever. Even Mrs. Johnson's rabbits hate you." Now, a little sidebar here. Mrs. Johnson was the art teacher, and she had a cage of like 4 rabbits. They would sit outside her door in the hallway, and the school loved these rabbits. These rabbits were cherished. They were lovely little rabbits. Well, the lunch lady didn't like hearing this. "Quit laughing at me. This is funny to you? You're gonna regret this. Oh, you're gonna regret this." So lunch ends, and later that day, this teacher was walking the hallways when she notices the lunch lady standing by the rabbit cage. Scrap-a-dink-a-dee. What is she doing? She's wearing her rubber gloves. She has a strange bag, and she's putting the rabbits in this bag. 1 rabbit, 2 rabbits, 3 rabbits, 4. Now I'm gonna throw you all on the floor. Okay, she didn't make that little rhyme, but still, she was putting these rabbits in a bag and she was gonna do something horrible with them. Well, the teacher said, "Hey, put those down." Security, the lunch lady is taking the rabbits. Security shows up, takes these rabbits and puts them back in the cage. They then drag her to the office and they send her home forever. After that day, the rabbits stayed inside Mrs. Johnson's classroom for safety. I wonder what she was gonna do to the rabbits. That's insane. It's this kid's birthday. Normally, his friend group always does something for him at school. Balloons, lunch table celebration, something every year. This year they plan a prank. Yo, when Steven comes in today, let's not say a word. We're gonna act like we forgot it's his birthday. Oh yeah. Then at the end of the day, we're gonna surprise him with this cupcake. Everyone agrees. So they put the cupcake in this dude's locker, saving it for the end of the day. The birthday kid walks in, smiling. He sees his friends. "Hey, what's up, guys?" "Oh, hey, what's up, Steven? Anyway, I'm gonna head to class." "Yeah, me too. All right, see you later, Steven." What? Then lunch comes around, he sits down, and nothing. Did anyone remember what day it is today? "Yeah, bro, it's Thursday." By last period, he looks crushed. He thinks everyone forgot it was his birthday. The bell rings, and everyone goes home. But here's the problem. The friend group forgot that they were playing a prank and ended up not surprising him, and therefore they forgot it was his birthday altogether. The giant cupcake they bought is still sitting in this dude's locker. Birthday kid goes home super upset. The next morning, the kid goes to his locker. Oh, crap. And that's when he realized he messed up. This kid was bullied for no reason. His name was Eli. He was a pretty average kid. He played baseball. He wrestled a little bit. He was smart, friendly, and this one kid hated him for no reason. That kid's name was Garrett. He would hide Eli's pencils and school supplies in class, blame him for things, getting him in trouble. He was just relentless. He would call him names all the time. "What's up, you freaking dingleberry?" "Shut up." One day at lunch, Garrett takes it way too far. He walks up behind Eli and smacks him in the back of the head with a large piece of ham. Everyone around them goes completely quiet. Eli stands up. He's completely silent. He turns around and he grabs Garrett by the shirt. And he slams him right into the ground. Garrett's nose was broken. His jaw was fractured. He had to have his jaw wired shut for 6 weeks. After that day, everybody in school called Garrett the Ferret. Eli was suspended for a few days. Well, the next year, when Garrett was a senior in high school, Eli's little brother was starting as a freshman. And one day, Eli's little brother was getting pushed around by a couple of kids. "What up, loser? Leave me alone. You're such a freaking idiot. Stop, leave me alone." Well, out of nowhere, Garrett the Ferret steps in. "Hey, don't touch him. And if I ever see you messing with him ever again, you'll wish you were never born." And those kids stopped, and they never messed with Eli's little brother again. Nobody knew if it was guilt, or if Eli got respect from Garrett that day. But Garrett became a really good guy, and that is awesome. The legendary substitute. It was last period, 90 minutes long, and this class's teacher was out for 2 days, so a sub came in to cover both. The first thing he said when he came in was this: "All right, students, this class is different. You will decide what we do tomorrow yourselves. Whatever you all agree on unanimously, I will make happen." And the class starts whispering, Wait, like anything? Anything, but every single one of you has to agree on it. So for the next hour and a half, the entire class was working like a group project. They debated, argued, bargained, and by the end, they had a full plan. The first 15 minutes, they wanted music playing and they wanted snacks. Then, a movie of their choice. They chose Shrek 2. And with the movie, they wanted soda and pizza. And not like one slice each. They wanted enough pizza so everyone could get stuffed. And the sub just nodded. "All right, tomorrow, it's done." And the next day, the classroom was a frickin' vibe. Pizza boxes stacked high, music, Shrek 2, kids with food comas in every desk. It was the only time the entire class agreed on something, and it was the last time that sub ever taught at that school. Christmas break had just started, and this one kid in the neighborhood had a huge yard. His backyard was long, and at the end of it, there was this hill that was pretty big. Well, then it snowed a lot. So he grabbed the shovel and he went to work. He used the snow to make his hill even bigger, and then he carved out 3 different sledding tracks. Yes. This is gonna be awesome. These tracks had barriers, even jumps. When he was done, he strung Christmas lights around the yard, and he set up speakers blasting holiday music. And pretty soon, all the kids in the neighborhood noticed this, and they all wanted to have some fun. All right, I'm charging $5 to get in, but that includes a sled, Christmas music, and free hot chocolate. I'm in. And that night, the yard looked like a festival. A line of kids from the neighborhood, cash in hand, everybody in snowsuits, sleds sliding down the hill, and Christmas music blasting. Even the parents were there, all hanging out with each other. This is actually pretty cool. I can't believe the kids did this. I know, right? It was a great night, and eventually everybody went home. But that kid used the money he made that night to buy his entire family Christmas gifts, and that is beautiful. All right, students, dodgeball. 3, 2, 1, go. It was gym class and the kids were playing dodgeball, so like a major W. Well, this kid Jay was playing just like everybody else. 2 groups were lined up on each side of the gym, and the dodgeballs were right on the middle line. 3, 2, 1, go. And they all run for the dodgeballs and then step back, and people begin throwing them. Well, Jay grabbed one and he launched it. But it accidentally smacked this girl in the face. I mean, that's the game, right? Dodgeball. You try to hit people, then they're out. Well, this girl was kind of one of the popular girls. She was also super dramatic. Well, she starts crying. And the gym teacher runs over. "Oh my God, are you okay? No, go sit down. Jay, come here." "What? Are you kidding me? You're out of line." "What do you mean? We're literally playing dodgeball." "Office, now." So he goes to the office, and he gets written up. People started whispering that Jay hit a girl. He tried to explain, but nobody cared. No, guys, we were playing dodgeball. That's what we're supposed to do. And he became that kid, and he never played dodgeball again. But guys, that makes no frickin' sense. That's what you do, right? That's dodgeball. I don't know. That's nuts. At this school during lunch, milk cartons were free, and they were all just sitting on this table. So one day, these 3 fifth graders, they stockpiled 20 milk cartons, shoving them in their backpacks, in their pockets, up their sleeve, and they take them out to recess. They walk over to the brick wall on the side of the building, and they just start chucking the milk cartons against the wall. Yeah, milk! Milk! The milk cartons are exploding, milk is spraying everywhere, a crowd gathers. Kids are cheering, they're watching this like it's a frickin' sporting event. Well, that's when somebody says, "Yo, the principal, he's coming!" Oh crap. The 3 milk chuckers put their hoods up and they just disappear into the crowd. The vice gets there. All right, who did this? And it was instant snitching, names and details. The principal immediately starts searching for these kids. And there were close calls, but these guys were really sneaky. Hiding against benches, behind trees, in the slide. Somehow, they never get caught, and the rest of the day is a frickin' mission. At lunch, the principal and the vice principal are posted at the table that these kids usually sit at. Oh crap, he's right there. Let's eat in the band room. Milk! That entire day they managed to escape the wrath of the principal, and when school was over, they went home. But the craziest part is, some random kid cleaned up the milk wall by himself, just because he wanted to. When the principal went out and asked him why he was doing this, "Why are you doing this?" "Because it's the right thing to do." That's legendary. This girl's parents were so strict. They banned birthdays at their house. No cake, no candles, no parties. So on her 13th birthday, her friends found out. "Wait, so you never had a birthday party ever?" "Nope, never." They were stunned. That is so messed up. You know what? Tomorrow night, we're throwing you one. One of them's house was the perfect spot. A huge backyard, a pool, lights were already strung up for vibes, and they spread the word. By sundown the next day, the backyard was packed. Music blasting, kids cannonballing in the pool. The girl who was hosting the party's parents were there just to keep everyone safe, but they were just sitting back relaxing. Everyone was even chanting her name when she walked in. "Marissa, Marissa, happy birthday, Marissa." And for the first time ever, she had a birthday cake with real candles in it. And right as she blew out those candles, there they were. She saw her parents walk into the backyard. Everyone got silent. "What is this?" Her friend stepped in. "Hey, she deserves this. It's her 13th birthday." Her parents looked around and there was dozens of people just staring at them. They were uncomfortable, so they just said, "All right, well, we'll pick you up here at 10, okay? 10 p.m. And they left. But still, that was the birthday that she would never, ever forget. This teacher roasted his students. So in this 10th grade history class, the teacher has a tradition. Every Friday before the bell, he would roast one student. I'm gonna roast Steven today. Nothing too mean, just a little bit fun. Like tiny little digs. "Steven, your haircut looks like your little brother did it with a lawnmower." "And your handwriting looks like a 5-year-old's. I'm just kidding around. Have a good weekend, guys. Pretty much all the kids laughed it off, but one kid, he was kind of a quiet kid, he starts a notebook, and he calls this Operation Final Bell. He passes this notebook around every week to other students in his class, and people write roasts of that teacher. One-liners, history burns, everything. By May, this notebook's absolutely packed. The last day of school comes, the bell rings, and the teacher goes, "All right, guys, one last roast for old time's sake, huh?" This kid then stands up and goes, "Yeah, but this time, we roast you." "Wait, what?" "Yeah, you walk like you're mad at the floor. Your breath smells like a cat pooped in it. You dress like you buy clothes from the clearance rack at an old lady's store. We've learned more about your midlife crisis than the subject you teach. And you look goofy in that hat." Kinda harsh, but hey, I get it. That's a good one, guys. And then everyone leaves for the summer. Hey, can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen, right? At this one school, phones were banned in every classroom. Strictest policy anybody's ever seen. No loopholes. If you get caught, your phone is being taken. So one kid, he builds a business.
"I'm gonna build a business."
He buys a bunch of nice binders, ones with compartments, folders, sleeves, and he customizes every single one. These binders would have sections. Section 1, crossword puzzles. Section 2, original comic strips drawn by kids in the art program that he paid. Section 3, an area for doodles. Each binder also came with a bonus packet. Fun gel pens, highlighters, sometimes a fidget toy. And he calls these boredom binders. At first, people told him this was a goofy, dumb idea. But then one kid bought one and absolutely loved it. Yo,
It's actually lit. There's riddles, comics in there. I found this awesome pen.
I'm gonna have to get one.
By the end of that week, everybody wants one, and business is absolutely booming. And here's the awesome part. He didn't just sell the binders. He offered weekly refills for a small price. He would load in new crosswords, new comics, new riddles.
Enjoy. And hey, for $2, give me the binder back and I'll refill it with new stuff.
He made over $300 in the first 2 weeks. And the cool part is, teachers didn't even shut it down. They liked it because it actually kept kids quiet, focused, and somehow it made them perform better on tests. And it was the only school business that nobody complained. And honestly, you gotta respect the hustle. When this dude was a kid, his mom made him memorize this phone number. Not hers, not his dad's, just the emergency number. He asked her once, "Whose number is this? If something bad ever happens and I'm not here, call this phone number." That was it. No explanation. So every week he would test himself. He would mouth the number silently in the mirror. He would write it over and over again in notebooks. It became this quiet obsession of his. Like, he couldn't stop thinking that one day he was gonna have to remember this number. Well, years passed. He never called it until one day in college. It just hit him. Yo, something just hit me. He still remembered every single digit, so he called the phone number. Big Dan's Pizza and Wings. Hello? I said Big Dan's Pizza and Wings. It was a pizza place. So he called his mom. He told her that he finally called that one phone number, and all she had to say was, "Oh, that place is still open. We loved their salad." Like, what does that even mean? He got punched on purpose, and his plan worked. In 7th grade, this one kid, Zach, had been dealing with this guy named Tyler for a while now, and Tyler was a piece of work. He was loud, annoying, and constantly trying to get a rise out of Zach. Well, the thing is, Zach never let it get to him. He never shouted back. He never did anything mean to him. He didn't fight. He just waited. Until one Friday at dismissal, Zach saw his way. He sees Tyler standing over there by a locker, and he decides to enact his plan. It's time. Oh, hey, yo! He walks by Tyler and softly and accidentally bumps him in the shoulder. Yo, what is your deal? Well, Tyler snaps, and all Zach does is stand there. Say something. He doesn't, and that makes him very mad. He then winds up and punches Zach right in the face. You know what, dude? Well, Zach stumbles back, throws up his hands like he's gonna fight back, but then he just says, "Time out, time out, time out. Yeah, you just punched me in the face, man. I'm not gonna fight you back, though." Everyone's like, "Yo, what? Guys, I didn't hit him, right? Huh? Look, he hit me. I didn't hit him." Security rolls up, so does the principal. "No, he bumped into me. He was gonna fight me." "No, it's a crowded hallway. I didn't even touch you. You punched me." "What happened? We were fighting. Both of us." "What happened?" "He punched me. I never swung." Zach didn't do anything. Tyler did. They looked at the cameras and everything checked out. Tyler was suspended for 3 days and Zach got nothing. The next day somebody asked Zach, "Yo, dude, was that your plan the entire time?" "What can I say? I played chess." And that was his way of getting back at his bully without lifting a finger. Genius. This kid started grading the teacher. It was a normal 7th grade class, and the teacher was exhausting. She talked too fast, she never explained anything, and her lessons were always boring. So before colonization, the Native Americans were showing signs of societal systems, and you see, it was really interesting because the colonization never happened. Well, this one kid, one day, decided to leave her a note. And it wasn't rude, it was a sticky note that he put on her desk. It said, "You talk really fast, it's hard to keep up. And you skipped the lab yesterday. We were actually excited for that." He didn't sign it, and the next day, class feels different. She slows down, she starts with a story about her night. "Guys, you won't believe it. Last night, I was feeding my cat, and then later, I thought the cat food was tuna, and I ate some." And at the end of class, she says this. "Also, class, if you ever have any thoughts about how I teach or suggestions, feel free to leave a note right here. You don't gotta sign it or anything. It's actually very helpful." And now notes are showing up every day. Please stop calling on the same 3 people. That video was actually kinda helpful. Can we do more labs or just something hands-on? She reads every single one, she adjusts, and class starts to feel human. Weeks later, a kid leaves this note. "This is my favorite class now. Thank you." And she taped that note onto the whiteboard. Now that's a lovely story.
তুমি কিন্তু আমার একটা ভিডিও কল করো না সোনিয়া অ্যাঞ্জেল সোনিয়া
তুমি কি শুরু করছো?
আরে আমি করলামটা কি আমি যেখানে বসে আছি
এই আমার ফোন দাও দাও কইতাছি
ছাড়ুম না
কি দাও ছাড়ো কইতাছি আমার ফোন দিব না আমি
এইটা আমগো খানদানি রীতি তুই বুঝছ না
আব্বা গতকালকে রাত্রে বেলা এমন সেটিং দিছি
আব্বা ফোন দিয়ে কি করেন আপনি
এই কথা কই গান শুনি এই আর কি
বাস এই দুইটা কামের জন্য
হায় হায় করছে কি আমার খানদানির ইজ্জতের ফালুদা খেয়ালাইছে
তোবা তোবা কস কি এত বড় বদ জামাই
হারামজাদা আমার মা
শাহজাহান
শাহজাহানের চাচাতো বাগান হুগায় গেছে গা।
শাহজাহান হুনো না,
কও।
বুঝার পারলাম না, বাড়ি মারলা আমারে, কান্দলা আমি কাঁদুম, তুমি কাঁদতাছো কেলা?
তারপর
তারপর আর কি? সারা রাত কই আসলো, কি করছে আমি জানি না, আমার লাগে কেউ
আপনি তো আপনার শ্বশুর বাড়িতে গিয়ে ঠিকই হ্যাঁ নিয়ম কানুন অক্ষরে অক্ষরে পালন করছেন, আর আমারতে আয়া মিছা গপ।
তুমি কি কইবার লাগছো এগুলা? তোমার কি মাথা আউট হয়ে গেছে নি? এত বড় স্পর্ধা আমার আদেশ। আর আমি যে তোর রুমে আইছি, রাইতে ঘুমাইছি,
পাইবেন এর লাগা চুপ আছিলাম, কিন্তু অহনা চুপ থাকান যাইব না।
কিরে শাহজাহান,
আমরা মানি না। আমগো খানদানে আমরা এক গ্লাস পানি পর্যন্ত ডাইলা না খাই।
আমাগো খানদানে আছে।
এই ভাবি একটা ফালতু খানদান থেকে আইছে, এই সব খানদানের আমি ধারদারি না।
চলো না আমরা বাড়িতে ফিরে যাই।
তুমি কি পাগল হয়ে গেছো নি? এটাই আমার বাড়ি এখনতে।
চৌধুরী সাহেবের সাথে আমি কি কথা কইছি? তুমি কোনো কথাই কই নাই কা? শাহজাহান তোমারে কইলো এত
দিচ্ছেন? হ্যাঁ দিচ্ছেন না? এলা বাইরন, আমার বাড়িতে বাইরন।
একবারে হাসা করছেন আব্বাজান। আপনার পোলার এই বাড়ি কোনো ওই বিতলামি করলে আমি তোরা ঘাড়াই, কিন্তু ভাবলাম আপনাকে একমাত্র পোলা ঘাড়াইলে আবার দিলে চোট পাই।
দিতাছো তুমি?
শোনো, তোমাগো খানদানে যেমন কিছু নিয়ম আছে, আমাগো খানদানেও আছে।
এইসব ফাত্রা নিয়ম কেউ যেন জানবার না পারে, মনে থাকবো তো? তোর যে নতুন ভাবি,
যা মন চায় তাই করো, এই ফোন আমি দিব না। কার লগে কথা কইতাছো? হ্যাঁ,
আমার ফোন দাও।
আরে বাপ রে বাপ, কইতেছো কি তুমি? আমার খানদানি পোশাক আমি খুলে ফেলামু, তুমি কি আমার অর্ডার করতেছো?
শিউলিমালা যা কয় তাই অর্ডার।
শেষ আমি দেইকা লমু কিন্তু কয়ে দিলাম।
আম্মা,
ওই কি ভাবতেছো? ভাবাভাবি বাদ দাও কইলাম। অহনি পোশাক চেঞ্জ করে আসো, নাহলে তোমার সারা রাত গা চুলকাই। আমি শাহজাহানের আব্বা আম্মা দিলে চোট পচাইছি, এর প্রতিশোধ নিতে গিয়ে শাহজাহান তোমাকে মধ্যে
বইয়ের হাতে মার খাওয়া চলে, তাই কিছু কই নাই কা।
আমার খানদানে জামাই মারনের নিয়ম নাই কা।
তুই আমার এখান থেকে যাবি না মানে কি? অক্ষণ তুই বাইরবি।
আব্বা আসার পর থেকে আমাকে বাসে শান্তি সব চলে গেছে।
হায় হায় খাইছে করছোটা কি তুমি?
তুমি একটা ভিডিও কল করে পাঠাও প্লিজ প্লিজ। কবে আমগো দেখা
করছেনটা কি এটা আব্বার লগে? এমন চিপা মাইটা দিয়েছেন? ও, কেমন ঠান্ডান বউ?
তারপর তো ভয় কাঁচে মুচু খায়া গেছে গা, তারপর আবার দুর্নাম করতে হইব।
এই তোর কি তোর দামি ফোন?
আইসে বাবজান রাইতে ঠিকঠাক মতো ঘুমাইছে তো নাকি বাসায় গিয়া আব্বাজান রে কইবেন
কি করছো যেটা তুই বাজার রে বাজার যাও চুইছে আজকাই করছে
সম্মান সব পাঞ্চার করে দিছে।
মাগার দোষ আমারও আছে, আমি একটু বেশি বাড়াবাড়ি করে ফেলছি। চলো না আমরা বাড়িতে ফিরে যাই।
তুমি কি পাগল হয়ে গেছো নি? এইটাই আমার বাড়ি এখনতে।
চৌধুরী সাহেবের সাথে আমি কি কথা কইছি? তুমি কোনো কথাই কই নাই কা? সাজান তোমারে কইলো এত
দিচ্ছেন, হ্যাঁ দিচ্ছেন না? এলা বাইরন, আমার বাড়িতে বাইরন।
একবারে হাসা করছেন আব্বাজান। আপনার পোলার এই বাড়ি থাকার কোনো বিতলামি করলে আমি তোরা ঘাড়াই, কিন্তু ভাবলাম আপনাকে একমাত্র পোলা গাড়াইলে আবার দিলে চোট পায়।
দিতাছো তুমি?
শোনো, তোমাগো খানদানে যেমন কিছু নিয়ম আছে আমাগো খানদানেও আছে।
এইসব ফাত্রা নিয়ম কেউ যেন জানবার না পারে। মনে থাকবো তো? তোর যে নতুন বাবি